Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. And today I will be doing a video response to a tag from a good friend of mine here on YouTube, and that is Falagar, aka Sammy. He posted a video Friday night and he wanted to know what your 3 favorite fairy tale type movies are. And he said it doesn't necessarily have to be Disney, but it can be. But he's including anything from like, I guess, Harry Potter type movies to, well, maybe not Harry Potter, but like Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit type films where there's like an adventure and a moral to the story, good versus evil, whatever. And I started going through my collection yesterday. Today is Sunday. I started going through my collection Saturday trying to pick 3. And I couldn't just narrow it down to 3. I ended up narrowing it down to 6. I'm going to show you guys 3 honorable mentions, I guess, and then I'm going to show you the 3 that I enjoy the most. But I'm going to start with the 3 honorable mentions. And this first one here was a mini-series on television. It's called The 10th Kingdom. And I don't really hear too many people talk about this show. I'm not sure if anybody, or I don't know if too many people have ever seen this. It came out in 2000. And it's about a... First, I'll show you the set here, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the synopsis of the film, of the mini-series. Here you can see the chapter card, and I think it's almost 500 minutes long. Let me see if I can find that. It's a 3-disc set. It's in full frame. I would like to maybe upgrade this one someday if it ever came out on Blu-ray in like a widescreen format. I would like to upgrade this. This is just the DVD set. And it says running time 417 minutes, so it's not 500 minutes, it's 417, which it's a really good good little series here. It stars John Larroquette as the father, and then there's a daughter, and the two of them fall into a portal, like a time vortex, that takes the two of them back to the 9th Kingdom, and that's where Cinderella, Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, all of them have their own kingdom. And I think it was Snow White's grandson was turned into a dog, I think it was a golden retriever, if I remember right. It's been a few years since I saw this, but I'd like to revisit it. But John Larroquette and his daughter go back into this mythical, magical world, this realm of princesses and princes and trolls, goblins, and every fairy tale character that you can imagine is in this this show here, and they have to try to rescue the dog, help the dog to become a prince again and to reclaim his throne. So very, very enjoyable series. And again, I don't hear too many people talk about this. I think it kind of flew under the radar, but I would strongly recommend picking this one up. It's made for TV, so you know you're not. It's basically it's a not even PG. I would say it's G, rated G, but it's a really good family type film, TV series. So that is The 10th Kingdom. That is an honorable mention. And my second honorable mention is Shrek, and this here is the box set from DreamWorks. But I'm only going to include the first one in my video response, just the original Shrek film. But this one comes with Shrek, Shrek 2, and Shrek 3D. And then it also comes with a book, or it's a bonus disc, I guess. It's been a while since I checked this one out too, but I really love these films, and they never get old. I would like to upgrade these all to Blu-ray someday. All the editions I'm going to show you guys today are all DVD, but I would like to upgrade every one of these to Blu-ray at some point. But this is the 2-disc special edition, and this, you guys all pretty much know about this film. This one came out in 2001, and it's about an ogre, Shrek, who has to rescue the Princess Fiona from an evil lord so he can get his land back, his swampland. So, I mean, and you guys know that this is an all-star cast of voice actors here. You have Mike Myers as Shrek, and then you have Eddie Murphy as Donkey, and what's her name? Cameron Diaz was Princess Fiona, and An amazing movie. I really love the first one. I like them all, like I said, but the first one has a special place in my heart. I really, I watched this with my kids when they were much smaller, and they watched this. We even had this on VHS tape, and they wore the tape out till it was, we couldn't even watch it anymore. But this particular 2-disc set has 11 hours of bonus features, and there's like games and stuff you can play on there, and you can record your voice. I think you can record your voice to fit into the scenes of the movie and stuff like that. So this is an honorable mention, but this one is very close to making my top 3. And this little set comes in this nice, it almost opens up like a storybook, and yeah, I really enjoy that. And there's the Never Ending Story 3 is honorable mention, so you pretty much know that the first one is going to be in my top 3, but I enjoyed all 3 of the Never Ending Story films. And then there was also a 4th one that was an animated film, which I do have that one somewhere. I couldn't find it, but there were 3 action movies, and then there was one animated movie. There you can see the Luck Dragon, and these are great movies. Just pretty much a basic edition here. This is the original first pressing here, and I believe the soundtrack is on the special edition here on the bonus features. So let me go ahead and get into my top 3, and I suppose I could probably name a couple that I don't have at the moment that I would like to pick up somewhere down the line. And that is these are all Rankin Bass films. They're called The Last Unicorn is one, Flight of Dragons is another one, and then the 3 animated Hobbit films, The Hobbit, Return of the King, and Lord of the Rings. Those would be honorable mentions as well. I'd like to get those on Blu-ray someday, but as far as I know, I don't think any of those were released on Blu-ray. The Last Unicorn, Flight of the Dragons, The Hobbit, Return of the King, and Lord of the Rings. I think they're all still on DVD format, so, but I would like to get those, upgrade those someday when they do go on Blu-ray. These next 3 are going to be my top 3 fantasy fairy tale type films, and they're not in any particular order. I'm just kind of grabbing from a pile because I like them all equally. And this first one is Willow, starring Warwick Davis. And this is a really good film here. This was from, let me see, this is from 1988. And it's about a dwarf, Willow, who protects a baby that they find in their village. And they have to protect the baby from an evil queen who's trying to destroy the baby. And this one was written by George Lucas and directed by Ron Howard, and this is an excellent film. I would probably give this a 9 out of 10. It's rated PG. And Val Kilmer plays a great role in this film. He plays the role of Mad Mardigan. And he's kind of a down on his luck, kind of a bad attitude. He's only out for himself at first, and then when Warwick Davis's character Willow rescues him from, he's in some kind of like a medieval cage type trap device where he was supposed to just rot. He was put in there by the authorities or whatever, and Willow ends up saving him on his quest to save the baby, and then he comes around and ends up helping Willow, and they go on this little journey together. And the costumes and everything about this film is outstanding. The scenery is great, the acting is spectacular, the story is top notch, and there's not too many movies, in my opinion, there's not too many movies that are better than this as far as like a fantasy fairy tale type film. And it does have there's a moral to the story, and I'm sure most of you guys have seen this film already. And those of you who have not, I recommend to go pick this up. Even if you just pick it up on DVD, you could probably get this for a couple bucks somewhere. But I bet you it looked really good on Blu-ray, so I would go that route. But that is my first one. And my second one here is the first The Never Ending Story. Although these are both great, part 1 is much better. Part 1 is almost perfect, I think. I'd give that a 9 out of 10 as well. This one comes with a slipcase. This is an older DVD. This is probably like one of the first printings of it. And you can see the slipcover. This film came out in 1984, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, 1984 it looks like, and it's rated PG. And it's about a boy who is he gets bullied at school every day. He's kind of a bookworm. He likes to read books and he gets lost in the books. And one day, on his way to school, he ditches some bullies who are out to put him in a dumpster. They want to pick on him and just, kind of beat him up a little bit and embarrass him and just ridicule him, just to be a bully. So he kind of ditches these bullies as he's running through the city, and he kind of ducks into a kind of like an antique bookstore. And there's a grumpy owner that's inside the bookstore reading a book. And while the kid is talking to the old man, there's a phone call. And the old man tells the boy before he goes and gets the phone, he says, "Whatever you do, don't take this book. This book is not for you. You're not old enough for this book," or whatever. I don't remember exactly how he tells him, but he says, "Do not take this book." So of course, what does he do? He takes the book and he runs. And he takes it to the school, and instead of going to class, he hides up in like this attic type room, and you can hear a thunderstorm in the background, and he's kind of he finds this blanket. I can't remember if he carried the blanket in his backpack or if he finds it up in the attic, but he kind of bundles up and he starts to read, and as he's reading, he becomes part of the story. And now it's his quest now to help save the princess from the nothing, they call it. And there's some very memorable characters in this film. There's the snail and his rider. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's the rock biter. And then there's the old man that helps him get past those pyramids that shoot lasers. And you guys will have to excuse me because I can't remember all the characters' names. It's been a while since I saw this one too. But very, very good movie. It's one of my all-time favorites. I have a sentimental value or sentimental attachment to this film as a kid watching this. It came out when I was in 4th grade, and I remember having it. I think it was on HBO, and I taped it onto a blank tape, and I watched it till it wouldn't play anymore. And this is just an amazing movie. It's very well done, and I would like to upgrade this to Blu-ray someday. I'm not sure if it's out on Blu-ray. I'm sure by now it's got to be. I just haven't looked into it. But the little kid who was reading the book, his name was Bastian Balthazar Bucks. And there's also another character in here. He's like a Native American. I'm going to see if I can find him on here. The horse's name is Atreyu, and I can't remember what I think the boy's name was Atreyu. Okay, and the horse's name was Artex. That's what it was. And these two were inseparable. And there was a very sad scene when I was a kid. I'm not going to spoil it for those of you who haven't seen it. But there was a very sad scene between these two somewhere in the movie when they were in a swamp. They were traveling through the swamp and something happens. And then there's also a big turtle in here that's, I think he was like a couple 100 years old or something. And he was a good character too because he talked really slow. And this was just an amazing movie. And that little girl that played that princess, she was amazing because she had beautiful blue eyes. And at the end, when she was begging Bastian for help, "You're the only one that can help us," and she had her crystal blue eyes, and then there was like tears coming down. That kind of got me too back then. And then there's the Luck Dragon. It's another big part of this film. And I can't remember who was. Let me see. I'm trying to find out who the director was of this film. This was a Wolfgang Petersen movie. He wrote it and directed it. Wolfgang Petersen. So this is definitely in my top 3 for fantasy movies, fairy tale type movies. And then the last one I'm going to show you guys for today is The Princess Bride. And this one came out in 1987. 87 was a good year for movies. I'm sure most of you have seen this one too. And this one stars Cary Elwes as Westley. I guess he's kind of the protagonist in the film. And then you have the beautiful Robin Wright. She looked really pretty as a young lady in this film. She was the princess. And there was also some very memorable characters. This guy right here, his name was Inigo Montoya, and there was some really good one-liners in this film. And his was, "Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." And he was looking for the swordsman with 6 fingers who killed his father. He trained himself to become an expert swordsman. And there was Andre the Giant was also in here, and he had some memorable lines. Very, very funny and a good actor, and he put some rhymes together. There was some one-liners in here. Chris Sarandon was in here, and he played the good antagonist. He was the bad guy. You had this was, in a way, this was kind of like the Never-Ending Story, because it starts off where Fred Savage was a young kid, and he was staying home from school sick, I believe that's what it was. He was bedridden, and he was sick, and he was in bed. And his grandfather was kind of at the house. I guess he was babysitting or whatever, and he started to read a book to the kid. And the kid didn't want to listen to it because he thought it was a romance, and he thought there was going to be kissing and stuff like that, and he didn't want to hear it. He wanted to hear something with action in it. So the grandpa kind of ignored him and, went about reading it. And as the movie goes on, you're learning about the story of the film, and then they kind of do a little cut scene, a jump scene back to the bedroom where the kid's in bed, and now he's getting into it, and he's hanging on his grandfather's every word, and he's pulling for the characters, and it's a very beautiful movie. It's very well written, it's very well acted, and I would love to upgrade this one to Blu-ray. And it's just another one of those films where it takes place in like a fantasy world, and there's the costumes, and it's like a period piece, and the costumes and everything are just beautiful. They really did well with this movie, and this is one of my all-time favorites. All three of these films are very important to me. They just have a good feel to them. They have good endings, and these are feel-good movies to me. So I hope this was good enough for you, Sammy. I enjoyed doing it, so thank you for tagging me. And I'm not sure who I'm going to tag. I think I'm going to leave it an open tag. To anybody who watches this who wants to participate, can go ahead and make your own top 3. If you want to show a couple of honorable mentions, or maybe you just want to show your top 3, however you want to do it. Please feel free. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I gave you guys some pointers. I'm sure most of you guys have seen these already. But if you haven't, check some of these out. These are pretty good films. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching, and take care.